This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
How much do you think 50 pounds of fescue grass seed cost, Alpha?
Oh, man. 50 pounds?
50 pounds.
$70.
100.
Get out.
$100 for grass seed. I mean, they have different size bags, but I was in Home Depot doing the Oh, by the way, welcome to the Jack Murphy Podcast. We're carried away talking about what old men do on the weekend. Had the yard aerated, put out some weed and feed, and reseeded. Yeah, you get a 40-pound bag for $89, but it's coated, and, you know, who cares if it's coated or not? Just put some seed down. But the big bag of Kentucky fescue, $100 at Home Depot. Man, crazy.
Now that turn brown in the wintertime?
No, that's right. That's Bermuda. You're talking about. Fescue stays green. In fact, I'd rather have the Bermuda.
Yeah.
You don't have to mess with it in the winter. It chokes out the weeds pretty much itself if you take care of it. It loves the heat. It's hard to keep fescue alive here in Charlotte. It's so hot in the summer. It dies.
Yeah. I got that in zoysia in my backyard.
Yeah, that's another really tough grass there.
Yeah. But I also got moles. Got freaking moles that are starting to kill me now. And so,
yeah, we got them too.
Got these little things you stick in the ground, and it's supposed to buzz them away. So maybe I'll give them to my neighbors.
The little moles we have here, like this big. When I lived in California, we had these moles, Alpha. I'm going to tell you, they look like creatures from hell. They were the size of rats, number one.
Yeah.
But if you, no, I'm not kidding. I've got some photos I'll find. And finally, somebody showed me this trap. They hate light. Okay. So you would find these like mounds in your yard, like 30 feet long, and you knew you had one. Right. And so I bought this thing at the hardware store. You go to the end of the tunnel and you stick it in the ground, and it has a little circle that lets light in, right? And so they want to go push dirt up against that circle to cover up the light. But when they go in the box, bam.
Bam. Right.
Spring gets. First time I saw one, I went, they have like these dinosaur-like claws and two big teeth, and they're hideous, man.
Saber-toothed moles.
I'm telling you, I was shocked. I didn't know such a thing existed. But anyway, welcome again to the Jack Murphy Podcast. Now 204 subscribers strong. Thank you. We love you. Getting a lot of, leave your comments down below, like the video. Quick college football update, Alpha. Tough day for your Hokies, Virginia Tech. You got to get the ball in the end zone.
You do. Yeah. And, when you got a quarterback who was great 2 years ago, injured and not so good last year, and now starting off 1 of 14 with 2 interceptions in one stretch. Yeah, not good. It was a special game because Shane Beamer, who played at Virginia Tech and played under his dad, who's a legend at Virginia Tech. And
did the dad come to the game? Is the dad still alive?
Oh yeah, he was there, and in fact, he offered the invocation before the game. Very, very sweet invocation, and the guy who got the game ball for South Carolina presented the game ball to Frank Beamer, which
it's a good feel. Everybody hug and feel good game.
Yeah, well, a little.
I noticed on your Facebook you were drowning your sorrows in some sort of a tequila concoction.
I got to start early, I call it getting the game face on, and this was an excellent drink. By the way, if you want to try it, you get a can of
tequila. Can't do it.
No, but you hear me out. You get a can of frozen limeade concentrate. Right. Now they used to come in 6-ounce cans. Now they're 12-ounce cans. It was easier.
I didn't even know they still sold concentrated stuff like that.
So you cut it in half, cut the 12-ounce can in half, put half of it in the fridge.
Right.
Take the other half, dump it into a blender with ice.
Right.
And then fill that 6 ounces with Malibu coconut rum.
Okay.
Pour it in. And then you can do 6 ounces or less of tequila or the bottle. You can do coconut tequila, which I find is very good, or regular tequila. Or if you don't do tequila, you can do vodka. And it works just the same.
Okay.
Blend that sucker up, and you got a great summer drink.
Sounds delicious. Quick update. My cousin Daniel, who Oh, he just had the best time on the podcast Friday and couldn't wait to be here today.
The dog fan.
Didn't answer the link, won't answer my phone call, no text. I don't know what, he's probably playing golf today. He doesn't realize this is a profession. We're not playing around here. So quickly, Georgia defeated Marshall 45-7 or something. It was
after an awful lot of smack talk by the Marshall coach.
Yeah, it was a warm-up game for the Dogs. There's no doubt about that. But, of course, the biggest thing, I don't know if you know this, but the biggest thing that happened in college football I have on video, and it was sad. I'll just play the video. It speaks for itself. I mean, I saw some players get hit over the weekend where their helmets just flew off and they hit the ground, and you think that guy may be dead. But this was even worse than that. Oh, no. The Ducks. Now, what I don't get is, why didn't you just stop and pick up the head? It's not like we don't know that there's a person under the duck head.
Well, it's like a chicken with his head cut off. That's the same thing a duck does, apparently.
I mean, if it were Minnie Mouse or something at Disney World and you didn't want the kids to see, I'd understand. But just pick the head up and put it back on.
Yeah, just return the head.
Or was he so embarrassed to be the duck he didn't want anybody to see his face, so he ran for the tunnel? He ran for the tunnel, but that was pretty funny. That got a lot of play. So Alabama football. That Kalen DeBoer has not done well since he got there, and losing to Florida State.
And it was not. Florida State's had some down years, and now, I mean, they are on the way back, I think. However, beating Alabama like that, there's a lot of Tide fans who are not happy today.
Paul Feinbaum, who I like, I can't watch. You ever watch his show?
Yeah,
I try to watch it, and I don't get I'm not a frequent enough watcher to get all the inside stuff they talk about, the callers. Yeah. Like, he has this cast of callers that all have little names and everybody knows who they are. Like, Paul, will you tell Alabama Bob when he calls back, he can kiss my ass? And, there's a lot of that on there. And I don't know who the callers are. I don't. But, Paul said that Alabama was ranked too low, that they should be higher in the rankings, that he thought they were a national championship caliber team. And he predicted that Texas would roll on Saturday, that Arch Manning would have a big game. And Arch Manning looked, my cousin texted me when he was interested in college football in the podcast. He texted me and said, "How do you feel about that $12 million now?" I guess he's getting $12 million over a number of years for playing football there. He didn't look impressive. He looked like he didn't know where to go or what he was doing.
Well, somebody posted some video of him in high school, and first of all, when you go from high school to college level, especially at college level like the SEC and University of Texas, it's a huge jump. I mean, kids are faster, kids are stronger, kids know how to play better. But he was playing, and these guys acted like they were in slow motion. Yeah, playing him, looked like they were afraid to hit him. It was
and the other thing about him is, he didn't just get coached by a coach in high school. I mean, his grandfather, his two uncles, and his dad, he got a lot of one-on-one instruction, and I just didn't see it. Hopefully he'll get better. And I was happy with Gunnar Stockton's performance, the Georgia quarterback.
He looks like he's 30 years old, that guy.
He is. He's been there for about 8 years. He finally gets to play. But, if my cousin had been here today, Daniel Wheeler, it's just like the family reunion. Everybody shows up except Daniel Wheeler. Everybody wonders where he's at. Same thing on the podcast. He says he'll be here, but no Daniel Wheeler. He was going to have a lot of commentary about guns.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Daniel, I'm disappointed. Would have been anxious to hear that commentary.
maybe another time get him on the show.
Maybe
Who
Daniel.
knows what's happened?
But
But Alabama fans, they're begging for Nick Saban to come back.
Please come home. I got beef and bologna.
Please come home.
I heard something the other day. Somebody said bologna is nothing but a hot dog pancake. Which
I saw that too. That's great. I wonder, if you're like Nick Saban, when you leave that job and somebody comes in to replace you, you got to think when the replacement doesn't do that well, secretly they're happy.
Yeah, I don't know if Nick's happy about this or not, but
I don't know, but you kind of think that, like, when I was a disc jockey, one of the times you get fired, whoever replaces you, you think, I hope they don't do well.
I hope they tank.
And I was happy when they tanked,
Yeah.
But, that was very immature of me, but anyway. First things first, the Democrats have switched gears a little bit on how they're perceiving Trump sending National Guard into these high crime areas.
Mm.
Now, the mayor in D.C., got to give her credit.
Yeah.
She thanked the president. She said, hey, this surge has really helped us get a handle on this violent crime that we had, and we appreciate it. And a lot of Democrats didn't like her saying that at all. But Gavin Newsom, because he can't keep his mouth shut, or his hands still for that matter, Gavin Newsom said the quiet part out loud in an interview over the weekend, which was basically, oh, yeah, illegals are voting. And that's why Trump's sending the ICE out like it is such bad news.
In LA, do you think ICE is not going to show up around voting and polling booths to chill participation? You know that. The National Guard, you know that. Everybody knows what's at stake. So we have to put a stake in the ground and do things differently.
So he's too dumb to realize what you just said.
What he just said.
He's there to stop the National Guard will be there to stop illegals from voting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or to arrest illegals that are there, but he wants them to vote, so he doesn't want ICE there. He doesn't want the National Guard there. That clip will be used in a campaign ad, I guarantee you, somewhere, because he just And again, he can't keep his mouth or his hands shut. I mean, he's got Asperger's or something on the spectrum, just a little bit. Nobody, not even Italians in New York, use their hands that much.
Yeah, I thought Tim Walz was bad. This guy has more jazz hands than Timmy.
Tim Walz is so deranged. The only person more deranged than him and his wife. Turn the page. That video, did you see that one?
Yeah.
Gosh, she is a nutcase.
Well, I don't know. I think there's someone who's more deranged is Maxine Waters.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Her latest video, she says
the 25th Amendment?
Yeah, Trump to do the 25th Amendment because he's incapable of being president. And
you ever watch that show? It's the yachting show with the captain and Below Deck. The reality show?
I have seen that show, yes.
Yeah, the original, there's a bunch of spinoffs. But in the original one, they had this Chief Stew, and I can't remember her name, but she had what was described as a resting bitch face. Because she was like, with the other people, and it became a thing. That's Maxine Waters.
Yeah.
I've never seen a person who I look at and instantly go, boy, she's really mad, or she's really ugly, or, she looks.
She's a much homelier Aunt Esther.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She really is.
And if you remember Sanford and Son, one of the greatest insults for him is, Esther, if I stuck your face in dough, it make gorilla cookies.
It's so true.
Yeah.
She is just, excuse
Yeah.
me, she is just something else, that Max.
Yeah, she showed up at the door one time. Fred said, I knew you were coming. I heard your hoofbeats.
So, speaking of ugly, I ran across something on the talk. You know, I'm very progressive. I'm on the TikTok.
You're the talk of the town, man.
And somebody had posted a photo of, is it JD or JB Pritzker?
JB.
JB Pritzker. He's the governor of Illinois, who, by the way, is on a diet. I'm betting he's taking the shots.
Yeah.
But he's trying to slim down before the presidential primaries because nobody wants to elect a Chris Christie-sized person to the presidency. And they were showing a picture of J.B. Pritzker's sister, Jennifer.
Oh, well, I bet she's a little more handsome than he is.
And I sent this picture to some friends. Now, first of all, let me say this. If you don't know about the Pritzker family, J.B. Pritzker, this Jennifer Pritzker, and minus 12 other family members are all billionaire heirs to the Pritzker fortune, which was made with Hyatt hotels. That's what their family owned, and 14 different relatives became billionaires as a result. Well, Jennifer is an investor, a former U.S. Army officer, which
really
kind of confused me. She retired a lieutenant colonel from the National Guard. You know, which I instantly think of Tampon Tim when I think of that. But she founded the Tawani Foundation and the Pritzker Military Museum and Library. But the Tawani Foundation's mother, she's very active in pro-trans donation. She's a philanthropist. She gives a lot of money. In fact, she's funding a gender reassignment wing of a hospital in Illinois right now. Now, I want you to look at this picture. Alpha and I both said the same thing when we saw the picture. When that is the ugliest woman I've ever seen. I said, you know, she looks more man than woman. And then I didn't know anything about her, and so I did a little deep dive on the interwebs to find out more about that, because I knew the Pritzkers were rich, but I didn't know they were this rich. She is a former man.
Oh, get out.
No, she changed to Jennifer in 2013. She was Jim Pritzker and became Jennifer Pritzker, just like the former Surgeon General. Same situation. That is the ugliest woman I've ever seen. Look at that. I'm going to show the picture one more time. It's revolting.
Yeah.
She's even fatter than J.B. Pritzker, if that's possible, and uglier.
Do you remember when John Goodman did the Linda Tripp thing?
Oh, he was so funny.
Yeah, it looks just like him.
It really
dressed
does.
Up as Linda Tripp, who of course was Monica Lewinsky's friend who ratted on her and all that stuff. But yeah.
CNN is famous for their hypocrisy. And somebody posted a video over the weekend, which I saw, and Erin Burnett, who's the chief hypocritist at CNN currently, they've had a million of them, she's talking about this Fed governor. What's her name? Carol Lewis? Was it Carol Lewis, I think?
Is Cindy?
Anyway, the Fed governor that Trump fired, who says you can't fire me, who committed allegedly mortgage fraud repeatedly. And Erin Burnett is talking about this over the weekend. The funny thing is, somebody found some old footage of Erin Burnett talking about somebody else being accused of that, and what a serious charge that disqualifies you from being in the government, but yet for this lady, it's okay.
These New York charges, residential mortgage fraud, among them, one of the most serious. So he's looking at 1 to 3 years minimum, 8 to 25 years maximum. These are huge ranges.
Paul Manafort.
But those would be inescapable, right? There's nothing a president can do to pardon on a state charge.
Inescapable.
Mortgage fraud by public officials. Mortgage fraud. This is a specific charge, and it is Trump's new weapon being used against many enemies. A way to penalize, remove, perhaps even jail them.
For Paul Manafort, there's no way to escape it. He's going to prison for 10 years.
Right.
Now it's a weapon.
Well, it's basically what they tried to get Trump on, and they were going to put him in jail for 300 years.
Yeah, they're going to put him away they'd have him executed if they could. Speaking of which, I don't know if you saw this over the weekend, but again, I'm on the Talk and all the other social media sites, combing. I'm trying to keep up with pop culture. Over the weekend, there was a very disturbing trend. One of the ugliest, most heinous, evil trends that I've seen on social media in a long time, and there have been a lot of them. But it was the people with Trump derangement syndrome, and they're all spreading the rumor that the president had died. Did you hear or see about that?
I did.
And it was just hilarious to them. They thought, he's dead. He's had a bunch of strokes. And what are the MAGA people going to do when they find out on Monday morning their hero's dead? And they just went on and on and on and on. And I couldn't believe how ugly some of it got. Like they were, talking about, I wonder if the casket will be hideous gold. And, it was just ugly, just vile. Not only that, but also, just as bad or worse was they were posting stuff like, they were like openly gay trans people going, I'm so glad those little children got what they deserved at that Catholic
I
church
saw that.
where they teach hate against trans people, and they died while praying to their God that doesn't exist. Just the evilness of what they were doing. I just couldn't get it. I don't fathom.
Yeah, actually celebrating the death of little children. It's unfathomable.
It really is. And, you just wish the earth would open up and swallow these people the way it may do at Burning Man, because I told you last week that the orgy dome had been destroyed. The Lord brought rain and hail last year. This year, he brought his mighty wind. And sooner or later, he's going to bring the earthquake and open up the earth and swallow it. After he destroyed the orgy dome, the Burning Man sinners, they couldn't leave it alone, Alpha. They had to bring out something even more sinful. They've brought out the Burning Man orgy bus.
Orgy bus?
Yeah, they couldn't rebuild the dome, so they've brought in the orgy. It's a pink taco-shaped orgy bus.
With emphasis on the taco.
Where do they get the people to come up with this crap on such short notice? Who do you call it? Hey, Bill? Yeah, John over here at Burning Man. I don't know if you heard, but the damn orgy dome is down this year, and everybody looks forward to that. Oh yeah, we got plenty of lube and all that. But the dome, it's been destroyed completely, and they can't just lay out here in the dirt. What? Any chance you could put together a pink taco orgy bus for us on short and get it out here? Cause they're standing in line. Who do you call?
Lined up with the junk hanging out, and you got to do something.
Who do you call to get that kind of thing? I saw a picture of it. It looked great. It's a double-decker bus, and they cut it. It's crazy.
Well, did you see it? Did you see what Nicole Shanahan, who was RFK's potential running mate for vice president?
No.
She went to Burning Man for 8 years, she said, and then she discovered gradually, because she was saved and became a Christian, and has come to realize the absolute demonic nature of things that
Of
were going on
course.
there.
Yes.
That
Yes.
there were people who were summoning demons, summoning
Yep.
entities
Mhm.
in the fire, and that there would be the spirals of smoke and fire. And she swears absolutely that it's nothing but a demonic orgy.
I agree 100%. It's like the pagan festivals you read about in the Old Testament, where they would come together and do stuff like that. But next thing you know, they'll be burning aborted babies or something out there. I mean,
Who knows? They're not doing that. And they found a dead guy, and they suspect
a possible murder, right?
Yeah,
possible murder.
Yeah, so that's it might be a tough ticket next year.
I just saw a video. Danica Patrick was there. The female race car driver. She was in her RV on the side of the road did a post on social media. I wouldn't have told that.
No, I don't think I would have either. I'd have kept that secret.
By the way, speaking of murders.
Yeah?
Buford Pusser.
I know! Walking Tall.
Walking Tall, the original movie. What was that guy's name from Savannah that was in that movie? He was in a bunch of stuff, but he played Buford Pusser in one of them. And then The Rock played Buford Pusser in an updated version of it. But everybody knows who Buford Pusser is, the legendary Tennessee sheriff that was very famous for carrying a big stick, a 2x4 or something, with which he would bust down doors of bootleggers and was portrayed as a real law and order guy.
Real hero.
And the movies made him to be. Well, one night he was on his way to a call at like 3 o'clock in the morning or something to go to some emergency call. And his story was a car pulled up beside them and started blasting their car. And his wife was killed and he was wounded. And the wife died. He lived. He was in the hospital for 18 days. Now they're saying that was a lie, that Buford Pusser killed his wife, shot himself in the face. I'm going to tell you what, he wasn't fooling around with that either. He's in the hospital 18 days.
That was what started the whole legend, is what he was getting revenge on those people who killed his wife.
Exactly.
And so he was going after them. Yeah.
Our whole hero was Joe Don Baker. Yeah. Our whole hero thing was based on a lie, maybe.
Yeah.
So they exhumed the body of the wife, and it turned out she had a pre-murder broken nose. So maybe there was domestic violence going on, or I don't know, but
yeah, that was a stunner, man. Walking Tall, Buford Pusser, for crying out loud, hero in Tennessee.
I mean, who knew? So I don't know if you saw this over the weekend, but another judge overruled President Trump on deportation.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with this. The judge's name.
Uh-oh.
Apparently, President Joe Biden nominated her, by the way, January 2nd of 2025. Come on.
4 days before the inauguration.
You don't think he might have picked just the most liberal, far-left person he could?
If it was even he who did the nomination, because...
Yeah, exactly. Probably auto-penned by Susan Rice or somebody. Anyway, this woman's name, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you had this name and you were a judge, you would change your name. Her name, and I kid you not, is Judge Sparkle L. Sukanan. Sparkle. Apparently, we're appointing strippers to U.S. District Court now in the District of Columbia.
Yeah. And it's getting crazier. I don't know if you heard about this story, but the State Department and HHS was going to return children who are in the country illegally to their families in Guatemala.
Right.
Because they are in foster homes or facilities here. And a judge halted that flight on the tarmac These kids are being returned to their families at the request of the families in Guatemala. And this judge said, no, you're not going to do that. So,
well, hopefully this will go to the Supreme Court quickly and it'll get overturned. By the way, this judge is from Tobago.
Trinidad.
She's an immigrant from Tobago on our
Named
U.S.
Sparkle.
District Court. Named Sparkle. Apparently she's stripping in Tobago and came up and went to law school. Or whatever. Sparkle. How can you take a U.S. district judge seriously if their name is Sparkle? I can't. I just can't do it. All right, let me see what else we got here. So I tried for about an hour to convert a photo this morning, Alpha, because I read the story and it had a picture of the suspect there with it. Detectives with the Davidson County Sheriff's Office, right up the road in Lexington, North Carolina, they had an investigation, after a report of bigamy. So they arrested this guy, Harry Irvine Burdick Jr. He's married to 3 different women at once. And if you saw this guy, you'd go, how did he get the first one?
Yeah.
He just doesn't look like the kind of guy, a lot of times you see these guys, they're swindlers or something, and they're really handsome, attractive guys, and they meet older women and suck them into their lives, and they milk them for the money, and then they disappear. But this guy's been arrested and charged with bigamy. Now, 2 other quick things I wanted to get to. I was watching, I think it was MSNBC or CNN, but they had somebody on from medical group. I can't remember what was it, the AMA this guy was from. But anyway, he was talking about how people who engage in risky activities are made to feel bad. They're ostracized. And that's why we have so many cases of AIDS and monkeypox. And, basically monkeypox, the only way you can get it is through unusual sexual activity. You're all adults here. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And AIDS, you don't get it in blood transfusions anymore the way you could at one point. So it's either sexual activity, usually between the same sex, or IV drug use. I think those are the 2 main ways that you can get AIDS, correct?
But Lord knows we wouldn't want to tell people that that's the way it's mainly spread.
No, because that makes them feel bad.
Right. Yeah.
And that's exactly what this guy wanted everybody to know from this government agency.
I work in HIV normally, and I'll tell you that, I always say that I've never made an HIV diagnosis in someone that hasn't somehow related to stigma. I think Mpox is the same. So really, stigma tends to be a barrier to testing, a barrier to vaccination. And so, really addressing stigma intentionally and making sure that we get the word out in a way that supports people's joy as opposed to, calling them risky. So I think, one of the things to think about is that, one person's idea of risk is another person's idea of a great festival or Friday night, for that matter. So we have to sort of embrace that with joy and make sure that
No, I don't have to embrace that with joy.
Sure that folks know how to keep themselves safe.
I don't have to embrace that with joy. And I think we all know what kind of fun Saturday night he's talking about.
He was with the CDC, and he has since resigned from CDC because of revelations like this and other things. And there's if you see some other pictures of him, he likes to dress up and have fun on a Saturday night for sure.
You can just look at him and tell he'd fit right in at Burning Man.
Yeah, but his rationale is we know what causes this, but we don't want to tell anybody who's doing those behaviors.
It causes stigma. It's like telling fat people don't eat so much. It stigmatizes them.
It might embarrass them. Like an old
Right.
comic friend of mine says, "Yeah, my girlfriend broke up with me because I came home with a venereal disease. I told her I got it from a toilet seat, and she left me. Now toilet seat won't let me move in with her." So
All right, finally, the other creature that won't go away is back today. And I would like to start a fund for her.
Oh.
I would like to start a Greta Thunberg. Is it Thunberg? I would
Thunberg.
like to start Thunberg. I would like to start a hairstyling fund for Greta, because I don't know who's cutting this poor young lady's hair, but I can't even get past the hair to hear what she's saying.
The question here today is not why we are sailing. This story is not at all about the mission that we are about to embark. The story here is about Palestine. The story here
Is your
is
hair.
how people are being deliberately deprived of the very basic means to survive. And the story here is how...
And the story here is I've heard enough. I just don't know what to think about her.
Well, that's the Mo Howard look, I think, is what she's going for there. But she's gone from protecting the environment to Gaza now. And I guess the environment's, the heck with that. She's not worried about that anymore. Now it's the Palestinians.
So I wanted to share with you, my very good friend John Carter. He helps me with so many things technically, with equipment and software and everything. But this is, I guess this is John's living room here.
Oh, okay.
Now, John has a girlfriend, but you can just look there. He's OCD, and so everything at his house has to be aesthetically perfect. Everything. And his studio is always, there's not a CD out of place. I mean, it looks like it's never been used, and he uses it around the clock. But his whole house is that way. Look at that. And he'll send me 5 texts every day and tell me some technical things that are wrong with the podcast, which I really appreciate. But his girlfriend's out of town. And she'll be back today. But he sent me this video. I want you to watch this video. Look. That's his dog, Coco.
Yeah.
Some wine. A pizza.
Pizza, yeah.
What's he trying to tell me?
Is he inviting you over for a little?
That's what I thought. I know your girlfriend's out of town, John, but I'm not coming over.
Come on over.
To listen to jazz and drink wine and eat pizza with you.
We'll sit around in our kimonos and have fun.
Call John Carter. Hello?
Jack Murphy, Jack, coming at you live.
Hey, John, we're live on the podcast.
Hey, Jack.
John, we're live on the podcast. Alpha and I say hi.
Hey, Alpha.
What up, John? Hey.
So I was just showing Alpha and the podcasters this video you sent me on Friday night, and I'm just trying to figure out what you're trying to say in the video. There's like, you'd already told me your girlfriend's out of town, and then you send me this video. It's your living room. There's soft jazz playing, and you pan over to a glass of wine and all your beautiful furniture, and then over to the pizza. And I'm thinking, is he trying to invite me over to his house while his girlfriend's out of town?
Jack, you're breaking up, man. I couldn't understand.
Oh, of course.
You can't hear me?
No.
Hello? Oh, he can't hear me. He can't hear me. Okay, I'll talk to you later, John. He heard it. No, he was saying he was getting some sweet solitude with his dog Coco while his girl Jean Beam is out of town. All right, well, Alpha, I hope you enjoy the rest of your Labor Day.
Yes, sir. You too.
And I hope all of you people watching have a great Labor Day. If you haven't, subscribe to the Jack Murphy Podcast, like the video, and we'll see you tomorrow on the Jack Murphy Podcast.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops, and tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.